protection because I've dealt with tons of people just lying to even the police about me. I mean, there were some horrible, bitchy teenage girls that were like, that's illegal. You want to have a sword fight? No, I don't want to have a sword fight with you in this thing. Then they call the police, right? So they call the police and they like call the police and everything. And they lied to the police. They're saying that I wouldn't do that. That helm is so poorly made that if I put it on wrong, it cuts me. The police have seen people coming up, taking photos with me. It was German test. You know, I wouldn't challenge anyone with that. Have you seen anyone actually having like the sparring matches and stuff? They're not just like in the movies where they're pretty much still. So they're tossing around. That helm would have probably... Hold on, I gotta check my other phone, make sure I'm staying on track where I need to go, right? That phone would have, or that helm would have cut up my face so bad, right? That I probably keep missing where I need to go. Looks like this road might work here. Sorry if you're talking, I can't see you. Hello there. I'm trying to walk home because, look, I'm walking like 3 miles home on an injured toe that was recently worked on in the emergency room. Part of the nail removed because the was like, nope, not gonna stop. So, anyway, here I am trying to walk home 3 miles in this heat, you know, with 30 pounds of stuff on me. Trying to keep track of which way I'm going and everything, right? Okay, this way, this way, this way. Okay, looks like it's pretty much a straight shot this way. There have been dogs barking at me. There have been a lot of them are angry because a lot of them are territorial and whatnot, but I'm trying to avoid them. And thankfully, they've been behind fences. I don't know if there's electric fence or whatever because that dog wasn't getting close to me. But, I mean, I don't know. It's pretty much a straight shot. So I'll cover at streets and whatnot so you don't really see what street I'm at for protection, right? I don't know. But this is like, because I've had people lie to police about what I'm doing. Hey, my own mother went to lie to the police. I've already called some friends. You know, for that, called for friends, health providers. None of them can help me. So, that's all going on, right? So I called different friends, well, I don't really have many friends, but the one person, you know, former manager. I know there's one person who would have taken me home, but the problem is, okay, I don't know if you can hear me better, it might be the microphone, but I had to do a false accusation. So a lot of this right now is so that if the police pull over and say I was doing something I wasn't, I'd be like, oh, I was live the entire time. You know, I never was doing anything wrong. Hopefully in this area, police know me a little bit. There was a guy from an officer who was actually at Northrop and knew me. They called a wellness check on me. The people were supposed to help me. Like, they called a wellness check on me. So police show up, you know. They said, you know, when dressed up in costume, you know, they're gonna spread the word that, you know, that people working in that area that, you know, I'm not trying to cause any problems or anything. Help if someone tries to say I'm doing something and I'm not, you know, at least I have help there. I'm almost at the 2 mile mark walking in this. And it's like, why don't you stop for take a breath? Well, the problem is, if I do, it's gonna be dark. It's gonna be dark out and not too long. If it gets dark, I'm gonna be walking on an area that doesn't have any sidewalk, that's not lit or anything, that's not even terrain. I could roll off there. I could fall in, there's water in that area. So, twist my ankle, depending on how I roll, I could easily break a leg, break at least one bone in my leg. That can cause problems like that. If I hit my head, I could break my neck if I land wrong. I could hit my head on something, be unconscious and all that, right? Get all these, who knows what, and open wounds because there's water down there. So who knows? It's stagnant. Who knows what's in there, And worst case scenario is I get knocked unconscious with my face in the water, and I drown. Worst case scenario. So all that could happen. Because the bus driver was like, nope. He's like, nope, not gonna make sure he's trying to get home. And I've used that method there several times. People who called to see if I can get a ride, the agency is supposed to help me, told me basically that there'll be they don't have anyone available to help me, right? Well, and then they're like, bus will come by at 6:30, and I'm like, no, the last bus is at 5:15, and that was the last bus. And I can't call the office for CityLink because the office is closed at 5. The office closes before the I'm gonna check for comments, but yeah, I don't know, there's a way to exchange comments, or they know I got 2 people, but basically I can't call the office. The office is closes before the last bus leaves. So that's all going on, And they kept saying, the person I was speaking to at the call center was like, I was told the people on call, told us there'll be another bus at 6:30 and stuff. And I'm like, there is no bus at 6:30. The last bus is at 5:15. And she's saying, that's what I was told. That's what the people on call told me. I'm like, okay, who on call? Who on call? The people at your company, or the people at CityLink? I was pushed to that. And then she said, I got her to say it was the people of that company, not with CityLink. And then I said, that is the problem. That is the problem, because they're saying there's one at hour. There is no bus from CityLink that runs at hour. There is none whatsoever. It is only every hour at 15 after. They don't leave at 1:30. Even if the buses are on hold, right? Even the buses are on hold, the only reason they would leave at 1:30 is if it were the last bus, the last route being run, and the only way they leave, and that's because none of the other buses are getting there in time. That's the only way to be there 1:30. If there's any other time that bus is running, they'll make sure to leave by 25 after. Any there. Whether or not that last bus gets there in time for that 25 after departure, they're gone. It's been a problem sometimes. People have been late to work because of that. So, so 1:30 is not an available option to them. So anyway, I was explaining that they only leave at 1:15 after. That's only designated time. With the exception of Monday through Friday, which this is Saturday, Monday through Friday, they have a half-hour bus, but that's only on 2 routes. It's only on 2 routes, and neither of them are my route. And then there's like the deviation route and whatnot. No, that's only in certain areas, and that's not where I live, anywhere near where I live. And those don't even run on Saturday. No, well, that's a different issue. Right now, I can't say this is because I'm a man or not. Because I think a woman would be in this situation too, to be honest. A woman might be too. And here I am just walking home, 3 miles. And like someone told me, well, my care provider said to take my time, but like I said, I can't take my time because if I take too long, it'll get dark out and it's dangerous. And you know, it'll be dangerous then, right? We can't stay out that late. Hopefully that one store I get to, I frequent because they know me, right? What time is it? Let's see what time it is. It's like, why don't you wear a leather coat? Well, it's actually kind of a, I don't even know if they'll be open by then, but it's open still. There's a good chance they'll still be open. And I get over there, I'll probably, because they know I've got a good rapport with them. I'm a regular and everything. I go in there, all sweaty like this, ask if I can sit down for a few minutes and buy some water. I'm sure they won't have any problem with that. You know, she asked me why I'm wearing this coat. Well, for one thing, I didn't think I thought I could rely on the bus. You know, and it's like it's hot out, yeah, but it's also a matter of I wear a coat because it covers me more. You know, all those years at Northrop, and the one occasion at Memorial Park where kids playing touchy-touchy, thinking it's funny, I'm feeling violated, and the school laid on that because I'm a guy, it's okay for them to do that to me. But when a parent sees a student, if you go to the principal for 1.5 years to report a student, and the principal doesn't care, but then your mother witnesses it, all of a sudden, it's like you're reporting it for 1.5 years, you don't care, but if a parent witnesses it one time, somehow you're able to stop it 100% with 100% effectivity and immediately. So when schools say they don't know what to do, they're lying. They're lying when they say they don't know what to do, because let a parent see it. You know? Just let a parent see it, and somehow that stops immediately. I've seen it happen twice. I've seen my father's actually gone to the principal, Barbara Allersmeyer, and talked about a kid laughing or harassing me in the bus. She laughs it off and goes, "That little guy," to my father's face. She's laughing about me being bullied, to being harassed on the bus by a student, and she thinks it's funny. And she says, I could take him. Does that mean she wants me to get in a fight? Does that mean she wants me to get a fight? I mean, seriously, is she saying that as a principal? She's encouraging violence between students, you know? Still in the correct way. Getting closer. But it's like she's encouraging, a principal is encouraging violence between students. And then my father and I, after that, just happened to go to the restroom because we both had to go. kids started making fun of me in the restroom, and my father witnessed it, and then he told the principal how he just witnessed it, and then she got serious. So, let's see now. And then but the kid she laughed about later on thought it was funny to stab me with this pencil. He literally laughed as he did it. He was laughing. We're laughing. He just stabbed me with his pencil. So he was laughing. Ended up reporting it to school. Nurse took pictures. Nothing was really done about it until I told Mr. Nolan, and then he said, "What?" I don't know how much longer that was. That anyone was ever actually cared to do anything about it. You know? He got kicked off the bus for a while, and then I'm riding the short bus. It's like, oh yeah, he's been stabbed with a pencil on the bus. You know what? We're just gonna put him on the short bus where he gets bullied even more. You know? Oh, the kids are outside making fun of his package. They're making fun of his weight. All that. Oh no, we're just gonna ignore all that. But if he tries to defend himself, oh no, it's wrong if he defends himself. But we don't care that we keep letting him have to be put into a mental institution over and over again, you know? Or like Mr. Beautrab in their weight room, whenever I talk about the one kid keeps touching me, he'd walk away every time. He didn't want to know that. He'd walk away. It's like, oh, those kids being subjected to sexual battery in this class. I don't care. Walk away. You want to deal with it? Too bad. You're a teacher. It's your responsibility to deal with those things. You have to report those things. So I'm pretty sure as the caregiver or whatever, right? As a person in charge of that child's safety, I was an adult at that time, but still in charge of the safety of that individual, it is your responsibility to report those things. Not doing so is illegal on so many matters. And before that, girls didn't like it. I was sitting at their table because they had saved it for years. I'm trying to sit down at it. And eventually, they pulled the chair out from under me. Right in front of the guidance counselor, Mrs. Gerber. Right in front of Mrs. Gerber. Mrs. Gerber car? Nope. She just saw a student get a chair pulled out from under him, hit the ground. That's battery. I'm pretty sure that indicates battery. She just saw a student have violence, so him being subjected to violence could possibly cause him to break his tailbone, and she just doesn't care. She witnesses a student being subjected to violence, and she doesn't care. Mr. Gerber, the guidance counselor, doesn't care. There was a time when I was 18, because in middle school, they told me I'm not allowed to report people touching me inappropriately. I'm not allowed to report that because, quote unquote, they, quote, have rights. I'm not allowed to report them because they, quote, have rights. I turned 18 before senior year because of cutoff and everything. So I turned 18, right? Then I am on meds. A lot of meds. And the number of meds I'm on keep increasing because of the stress I'm under. In fact, the people that are supposed to help me, right? They just wouldn't talk to me about what's going on. They keep just deciding to stop paying some of my bills because they're not essential. And like for one time, they just cut off my phone entirely. And I have a job. So all of a sudden, they're like, oh, a phone's not essential to someone with a job who has, doctor's appointments he has to keep and whatnot. Nope. And staff and everything, they come and visit him and stuff. No, he just doesn't need a phone to get basic medical care. He doesn't need a phone to go to his psych appointments. He wants to call a psychiatrist. Nope, no option there. You know, he needs someone to calm him down. Nope, that's not an option because it's not essential for him to be able to reach out for help. It's not essential. It's not essential. So we're just gonna cut off his phone. Oh, you know, could we have told him ahead of time? Like a day he was in there, we could have told him. We decided to cut off his phone. Nope. We have too many people that we made this decision for to let them know we're gonna just stop paying it, and then we're not gonna let them know. And then when they get upset, because now they have no way of, you know, having any way to get help of any kind, or even call work, let them know what's going on, or receive a phone call from work if the work is on delay or shut down or anything because of inclement weather, you know, or maintenance issue or something, they just shouldn't come to work, right? Nope. Work is like, they're just like, nope, none of that matters. It's gonna shut it off, and we're not gonna let him know. It's gonna let the company tell him. He calls in and figures out, oh, now we're gonna let you know after it's already been shut off, and you contact us about it. So, you know, and now we're gonna bother to let you know. I get a copyright strike. Someone's playing music out loud. But yeah, do this to my safety. Because I've been treated so horribly. I mean, I was even in the emergency room and some officers came at me because I thought I was drinking. They're trying to make me say I was drinking and driving when I was doing neither. Trying to pressure me into saying I was and lying to them. And I'm sitting there waiting to be seen because I'd hit my head, you know. I had hit my head. Here I am in the ER, and they're bullying someone that's there for psych help, right? Or not psych help at that time. It was to get a CAT scan. They're harassing someone who's trying to get medical help, and ultimately end up insulting him for trying to pick up trash and show and make a blog about how some of this stuff can be used to make stuff, so that hopefully the city, you know, people in the city stop polluting so much, putting trash everywhere, harms the wildlife, harms the environment, all that. He's trying in his spare time to clean up the city, and then they insult him for that when he's in the hospital to get help. That means if I am ever upset, I'm not calling the police. I don't trust the police. I'm not gonna call them for help. If I need to calm down, I'm not gonna call them for that because I don't trust them at this point. I don't trust them. I don't even feel safe going to the ER by myself. I don't feel safe going to the ER by myself. The only reason I got to the ER last time was because I was in so much pain. I was hollering. I was rolling around and hollering in the middle of the night. It's gone nuts with the neighbors. And then the people that I called them for help. Yeah, they're like, oh, we have absolutely no one that can go to the hospital. You don't have any painkillers. So, you know, either you can call an ambulance or you can wait for about 7 hours hollering in pain. It's getting worse and worse to where your leg is cramping up. It's like, nope. Well, you just have to do it. But we can't help you. Nothing. Nothing we can do. Just either you call an ambulance or you roll around screaming in pain so the neighbors can hear you for 6 hours till the bus comes. And that's gonna be like middle of the night screaming, so my neighbors can hear me screaming in pain. And whenever, because my last encounter with the police and the ER, whenever they left me alone, and the ER, not only did my foot hurt, where every now and then I'm jostling around, screaming in pain, you know, grabbing onto the bed rails and everything, and just going to weird positions, trying to keep my foot up so it doesn't get hurt. And the doctor had to leave after sanitizing it to get some stuff for whatever reason. And all the time I'm trying to find a position that's not twisting my joints. I'm hanging off the edge of the bed trying to find a comfortable position, and I'm calling the nurse to come in because because I'm hanging off the edge of the bed. I know that's not safe. So the nurse comes in, puts the guardrails up so I can grab that, bouncing around in pain. And all that time, whenever I'm alone, I'm afraid the police are going to come in and harass me. Deal with that the entire time. You know? You might think, well, you know, the company that helps me, right? You know, they have a call center, right? Well, I don't feel comfortable calling them because I've been upset and I call them. They guess who they call? The police. So I can't call them. They're off my list of people to call. You know? Shaved my head because I was pressured too, and it actually did look better when I shaved it. I'd like to wax it. Problem is, no one in this city of about 300,000 people does scalp waxing. Even salons are not certified to do it. Barbershops are finding them around. Anyway, I'm getting closer to the store. But, I mean, I don't know. You know? Here I am. Dealing with all this, right? Now my toes hurting. Almost to that shop, right? Almost on street sign. Oh yeah, back to that story of Northrop. So I was 18, right? And I just like, I'm gonna have emotionally legally emancipated adults. I started reporting these. Kid came up and did it in the hallway. Another kid did it because the kids, that's what they were doing. You knew I wouldn't report them, and the reason I didn't report them is because I was told I'm not allowed to because they have rights. I see my temporary reprieve up there. So, it's leaning on a fire hydrant. Let me catch my breath. So, I was like, oh, I'm an emancipated adult, because, you know, they would just come up in the hallway and grope me. They just come up in the hallway and grope me, because that's how they do her. And then I was 18. First time after I was 18, kid did that. I reported it and followed him down towards the office, and Mr. Demerau was outside the office. I told him what happened. I'm like, stop him and let him know what happened, right? They're like, he's like, he took it serious. Mr. Demerau is like the only staff member that I've encountered in all the years that actually cared and took it serious enough to actually do something on my behalf after a student touched me inappropriately. He wasn't happy, and I heard him tell that student, because I was in the office with him, he said to that student, you just got back after being suspended, didn't you? He actually cared. And then this kid kept touching me again and again in the weight room. I kept telling the teacher, Ernie Bojav, and he just walked away every time. The teacher's walking away every time when I'm telling this kid touching me inappropriately. I don't think I got mad, walked out, went to the office, told him what happened, and Mr. Robinson, he decides to calm down and tells us we're both at risk of expulsion. He had us sign paperwork saying we can't talk to each other anymore, stay away from each other, because if either one of us breaks that contract, then that student is expelled. I am being threatened with expulsion after reporting this kid repeatedly subjecting me to sexual violence. That's how it is in schools. Kid reports sexual violence and stuff. The kid that reports these serious crimes gets punished. Kid's being bullied. Oh, he doesn't get recess. The bullies get no punishment, but the kid has to stay, and he's denied recess for being a victim, and then he's made to clean the school because it's helping the school. It benefits the school, so the school is benefiting from free child labor because a student is being bullied. They capitalize on bullying by getting free child labor. And it's not just me, they're even more recently in local news for doing it. More recently, remember years ago, they were in local news for doing the same thing. Kid was being bullied. He got no recess, and he was made to clean the school during his recess because he was bullied, right? He's being bullied. He's denied recess for it and made to clean the school because according to the school, and I quote, it benefits the school. School is getting free labor off of bullying. They're capitalizing and profiting from bullying. That's how the school is. And the only reason they wanted to do anything about it was because the kids that are bullying him recorded themselves bullying him and put it online. The only reason that kid got help was because the public found out. And in Northrop, more recently, they were in the news for teaching sexism in the classroom. So they're on national news for teaching sexism, so they haven't improved at all. Not to mention, Florida Community Schools is actually breaking the law to the point where it could arguably be felony child endangerment. And I'm talking felony because in order for child endangerment to be a felony, student's life would have to be jeopardized, right? Some kids require emergency inhalers, because their life could depend on it. But running community schools is like, even though the law requires us to let students have it, nope, the law doesn't apply to us. We're just like, there are all these laws and stuff. Nope, we don't care. We're above the law. We can just decide to not follow the law because years ago there were a couple troublemakers that were playing with inhalers. So that means no student is allowed ready access to life-saving equipment that they need. It's like, they got a couple troubles? Nope, we're going to make it so the law doesn't apply to us. We're just going to make it so we don't have to follow laws that are put in place to keep kids alive. Which means that kid would have to travel, while not being able to breathe, would have to travel possibly several hallways and flights of stairs, depending on where they are, okay? Just to be able to get to the office where there's a locked cabinet to get to the equipment they need to survive. Anyway, I'm gonna cross the street. Hold on a sec. They need that equipment, and then it's like, sure, a nurse can just go in there. Well, there are occasions when the nurse is not in the office, and then you're like, okay, we'll run. Take care of that run. Okay, there's that. Get there fast and run, so we can get in there. Well, then it's like, then this is possible. Not saying it's entirely likely, but this is feasible. What if a student slipped on something and broke their leg, right? That can happen. So the nurse has to be over there to take care of that student that hurt them. They got hurt, right? The problem is, what if that happened and then somewhere else in the school that students can't breathe, right? Last bit for right now, and then we're gonna go inside and take a breather. What if a student, dies or something, right? Or what if a student farther outside the building starts not being able to breathe, and then the radio, of course. Well, the problem is then nurse is like, I can't leave the person I'm already helping because then I get charged with abandoning a patient, which is a serious crime for a healthcare provider. I believe they have jail time for they do that, right? Anyway, I'm gonna finish up right here. They could face jail time for it, and so they can't leave that patient to go to a patient that can't breathe. Priority 1 medical emergency. So someone else has to figure out where that kid's in an entire cabinet of all the medications that are locked up, figure out which inhaler goes to that student when they're panicking, and then travel several hallways and fly upstairs just to get to the kid who, I don't know how many minutes has elapsed where he couldn't breathe, Anyway, at the store, I'm gonna sign off now. Go in there, hopefully they'll let me sit down for a little while, get some more. All right. Well, here's all this been happening for me. It's what it's like when you have a disability. All right, signing off. I know what will happen to me. Hold on. Command it.